Welcome back to Data Engineers Academy. Today, I will present my project on building an end-to-end real-world data pipeline using Swiggy data. In this project, I will explain how the data moves from source systems through the bronze, silver, and gold layers and finally reaches BI tools for reporting analytics. This diagram represents the Medallion Architecture, which organizes the data into three layers: bronze, silver, and gold. First, the data comes from AWS or Azure or GCP from different cloud services, and these source tables contain raw business data like customers, restaurants, orders, delivery, or payments. The first layer is called bronze layer, also known as the stage layer. In this layer, the source data is copied exactly as it is without any modifications. No cleaning or transformation is done here. The source tables which are staged in this layer will move into the silver layer, which is also known as clean layer. Here, the raw data is cleaned by removing duplicate records, handling missing values, correcting data types, and applying some business rules. And now, this clean data will move into the gold layer, which is also known as the consumption layer. In this layer, the data from different silver tables is joined, aggregated to create a business study tables such as sales summaries, customer reports, restaurant performance, and revenue reports. Snowflake environment before loading any data. First, I switch to the system admin role, which has permissions to create warehouses, databases, schemas, and other objects. I have ran this statement, and you can see the system admin role was switched successfully. Next, I create a virtual warehouse named adhoc_wh. This provides the compute power to run SQL queries and load data. It does not store any data. Now I am running this for creating the virtual warehouse. You can see the warehouse was successfully created. Now we will create a database named Sandbox. I am running this and the database was successfully created. Here the database was switched successfully. Next, I'm going to create four schemas: stage underscore schema, clean underscore schema, consumption underscore schema, and common. Stage underscore schema represents the stage or bronze layer where raw source data will be loaded exactly as it is comes from the source. Clean underscore schema represents the clean or silver layer where the raw data will be cleaned and transformed here. Consumption underscore schema represents the consumption or goal layer where the business study tables will be created for reporting. And this common schema will store the usable objects like tags or masking policies. Now I'm creating one by one. Stage underscore schema successfully created. Next, likewise create clean underscore schema. And then consumption underscore schema. And at last common schema. All are successfully created. Now I'm using this stage underscore schema for staging all the source tables in the internal stage. And the stage underscore schema is reflected here. Now I will create a file format for the staged tables that are in the stage underscore schema. And file format successfully created. Now under this stage underscore schema, we want to create one internal stage used for storing all the source tables. Let me create this. And this stage is successfully created. Now we are creating some tags and policies. Here for creating tag, we will use create or replace tag. And similarly for creating masking policy or any other row policies, we will use create or replace that policy name. Generally, we create a tag and masking policies to protect the sensitive information like email addresses, phone numbers, and personal data by masking them when users query the tables. Let me create this. You can see the tags and policies are creating successfully. Yeah, all are created successfully. Now we have created a stage named CSV underscore stage in stage underscore schema, right? Now we need to upload all our source files to this CSV underscore stage, which is under stage underscore schema. So let me go to catalog and see all the schemas and databases and that we created just now. So this is the sandbox. Under this clean schema, common conception, all schemas, stage schemas also stored. Now under this, we have created a stage named CSV underscore stage for storing all source tables that comes from different cloud services. Now this CSV underscore stage will store all source tables or source files that we load here. Now go to this. Now here we will upload our files. All our files will be uploaded here. If we click on files button, you can see clearly browse or drag or drop files here, and we will select some schema. So this stage is under stage underscore schema. So we have selected the database dot that schema. Now we will upload all our source files. Here we will give our path. So we need to upload all initial and delta files. Delta files are nothing but though the files which will capture the change in the data. Change in the data will be captured in the delta files so that we can retrieve or transform the data clearly. First, we will upload our initial files to the initial folder. So I have given the initial as the folder name. Under this, we need to upload all entities that required for placing the orders, like orders table, restaurant table, location table, all will be loaded here. First, let me load initial folder location. State underscore schema, because under this state underscore schema, we have created internal stage. To this internal stage, all the files should be uploaded, right? So I have selected this, and you can give path here. So all source files and the code will be available in the description. You can see. Now my sample files has initial and delta files too. Initial files will load all the initial data, and the delta files will capture the changes in the initial data. So both should be used to create the data pipeline. So now first under initial data folder, I have all location, orders, restaurant, delivery agent. So all related data will be stored. So first I am giving the location. So first I will store all the location files under this. So I will browse here. You can see under downloads my. So this is my location, restaurant, customer address, menu, all order related files will be stored, restaurant related files, orders files will be stored. Now first I'm uploading the location. Initial and delta will be there. I have said previously that initial will store all the data and delta will store the captures or any changes occurred in the data. So under initial load, I have some location, 5 rows. I have uploaded this to the same path, initial folder to location subfolder of this location file I am uploading. You can see initial subfolder location. Under this, the location file. Nothing but the restaurant related location data will be stored under this location CSV file. So CSV underscore stage will store the location related CSV data of the restaurant. Similarly, we will upload all order items, delivery agent, order restaurant, all other details also similarly uploaded. We have uploaded the initial data, right? So similarly, we want to upload the delta data files or delta data. So for that, slash delta slash the location. So browse, so go up, and we can see the delta load. So these are the 5 files that show the restaurant location related data. So the restaurant relation location data of the initial file has captured these many changes. So these changes are stored underscore this delta underscore load. So I am uploading this. So you can see uploaded successfully. So delta of subfolder location. So these are the files of the restaurant location. And similarly, we will upload all other files. Data folder, all related files are uploaded. So login audit files, And next, uh, order item files, delivery agent, menu, customer address, delivery, customer restaurant order. All these related files are uploaded as of how we have uploaded the location files. Similarly, we have uploaded like that. And under initial folder also, as of how the location files uploaded, remaining all other also uploaded. You can see login order, delivery agent, order item, delivery, customer address, menu, customer restaurant, and all that. Now I'm using this role, system admin role, and here system admin role there, and now I'm using the schema stage underscore schema. So stage underscore schema reflected. So previously we have loaded all the CSV files into stage underscore schema under CSV underscore stage name. So from the CSV underscore stage, we should load all the data into some table, right? So first we will load all the location related files from the CSV underscore stage to location table. So for that I'm creating one location table. So if I write create or replace, so if it exists, it will create again. If not exists, it will create just. So it successfully created. Now for the table, I am creating one stream. This stream captures all the changes that are there in the table. So I am creating this stream. Stream successfully created. If we check the data, no data will be there since we haven't done any insertions, right? So once we insert the data, this stream will capture the changes existed in the inserted data. So first I need to copy all the location files from this CSV underscore stage to that table. So I'm running the copy into command. And you can see 5 rows were loaded. Now if I check the table, 5 rows will be displayed. 5 rows will be displayed. Next, if I check the stream, as we have only inserted the data, it just show metadata $action will be shown like only insert, and is update no update, right? So false. So you know clearly, right? Stream object will has 3 hidden metadata fields: metadata $action, metadata is update, metadata row underscore ID. So we have just inserted, so action is insert. Do we perform any update operation? No, right? So it will return false. And this is the unique ID that is generated for each transaction by the stream. So next, I will use clean schema. So I'm using this because these location table should be transformed and cleaned and processed, right? So for this, I'm using this clean schema, and I'm creating one target table in this clean schema. So here are create or replacements. If they exist, it will replace, otherwise it will create. So created successfully. Next, I'm creating stream for this table. Stream also created successfully. Next, I'm performing merge operation because um, we have created location underscore stream in the stage schema, right? So using that stream object, I need to make all the transformations, and I need to load into this restaurant underscore location table. So merge into target table. This is the target table using which stream object, stage underscore schema, location underscore stream object. So I'm using that, and I'm performing these merge operations. So if any matches occurs, it will update. Otherwise, if no matches, it will insert. So I'm running this. So you can see number of rows inserted were 5. Next, I'm going to create one restaurant underscore location dimension table in the consumption schema. So we need to merge all the clean and transform data into this underscore dimension table using which stream object, the clean schema stream. So similar which. So let me run this merge command. See, now I am running the merge statement in the consumption schema. So merging to the target table name using the clean schema stream object. So I'm running this. can see the number of rows inserted, there are only 5. Now I am going to list the files in this delta folder. So first I will insert this location in delta file and update the path here. Now it will load this day1 location delta file to this target table, location table of state schema. If we run this copy command, you can see number of rows responsible with 2. So now the same picture repeats. For initial files we have run merge statements, right? Same for this also we will run the merge statement in clean schema and also as well as in the consumption schema. First I will run the merge statement in the clean schema. You can see the number of rows inserted here, only 2. Now I will run the merge statement in the consumption schema. So you can see the number of rows inserted were only 2. Next, similarly add another delta file of the location folder. So add this delta file for updating the path here. So I have successfully updated the path. Now I am running the copy into command. You can see the number of rows passed and loaded were 7. Now I am running the merge statement in the clean schema. So running this will give the number of rows inserted or updated in the result panel. Merge statement of consumption schema. So if we run this, we will get an output of number of rows inserted 7 and number of rows updated or 4. So that's it. Next, we will move on to the restaurant dimension. Okay. Now I am executing this. Use this role as system admin and database sandbox and schema stage underscore schema and warehouse head of underscore wh. Executed successfully and reflected here. Now we will move on to the this table expression. Now I am going to create this table restaurant under this stage schema. You can see the table created successfully. Now we will create a stream object for this restaurant table, which is under the state schema. If I run this, stream was successfully created. Next, we will move on to copy into command. We will copy all the data files in the CSV underscore stage to this restaurant table. We will copy only the restaurant related files in the CSV underscore stage to this restaurant table. If you can see clearly, here is the path. So initial restaurant and restaurant CSV file from this CSV stage only we have been copying there. So I'm running this. So you can see the number of rows parsed were 5 and status is loaded. Now next move on to clean schema. Now we will create the table restaurant under clean schema. So I am creating this. You can see restaurant table under clean schema was successfully created. Next, we will create stream object for this restaurant table, which is under clean schema. All steps are similar to the location dimension table only. Concept, everything similar to that. Now, if you want, if you can insert into the target table, and you can apply merge statement command. Under merge statement, it will check if matches exist, it will update, otherwise it will insert. So you can directly run a merge statement, right? So if no match occur, it will automatically insert. So you don't need to waste your time by inserting again at the front. So I'm directly running this merge statement. Number of rows inserted were 5. Merge statement was successfully run. Now I'm going to create uh, another target table in the consumption schema. Restaurant underscore dimension table I want to create under consumption schema. You can see clearly the restaurant underscore dimension was successfully created. And next we will run the merge statement, merge into the target table name using clean schema stream object. If we run this, you can see the number of rows inserted were 5. Now for all initial files for the restaurant dimension successfully done, rows were updated and inserted. Now let me move on to the delta files of the restaurant location. So restaurant low delta files we will see. So I want to see what are the files there. So I am listing. So only these two files. Now I will give this file path there. Okay, now I am running the copy into command of the first file that I have loaded. You can see the number of rows loaded are 3. Next, we will move on to the merge statement in the clean schema. So clean schema is used for transforming the data, right? So first we should execute this merge statement which is under clean schema. So I will run this merge statement and you can see in the results the number of rows inserted are 3 and the number of rows updated are 0. Next, we will move on to the merge statement in the consumption layer. So if we run this merge statement, we will see the number of rows inserted and updated as before the what we have got. Here the number of rows inserted also 3 and updated 0. Next, we will move on to the next second file path should be replaced, right? So I will list the files what are there. So that now I will copy the second file path. I have copied. Now I will move on to that CSV underscore stage path and I will replace this path with my copied path which is second file, second delta file. So I have copied. Now I am running this copy into statement and you can see the number of rows loaded are 5. Now similar to that, now we will move on to the merge statement in the clean schema. As before what we have done for the first delta file, same procedure repeats here, no change. So now I am running this merge statement which is under clean schema. You can see the number of rows inserted too, but the number of rows updated are 3 here, right? So it looks good. It is working. Now let us move on to the consumption layer. So this consumption schema merge statement I will run. So you can see the results. Here the number of rows inserted are 5 and the number of rows updated are 3. Okay, it looks good. Now let us move on to another dimension, that is customer dimension. Now I'm executing the 4 setup statements that is under at starting. So this will switches my role to system admin, database sandbox and state schema and my warehouse ad hoc underscore WH. So it has switched successfully, you can see clearly. Next, I am going to create a table in the state schema named customer. Now I am running this. You can see table customer was successfully created. Now next we will move on to the stream object creation for this customer table which is under state schema. If we run this, you can see the customer underscore stream successfully created, which is the stream object for the state schema table. Next we will run the copy into command. This will load the data from this customer files the CSV underscore stage into that table, and I have run copy into command, and you can see the number of rows loaded are 5. Next, I will move on to the clean schema. So in this clean layer, now we should create another table, right? So I have creating the table in the clean schema, and you can see the table was successfully created. Next, we will move on to the stream object creation, and you can see the stream object under clean schema. So I'm creating the stream object. I want to create this, and you can see customer underscore STM successfully created. So next we will move on to the merge statement in the clean schema. Merge into target table name, and we will use here stay schema stream object. So I have run this, and you can see number of rows inserted 5 and updated with 0. Next I will move on to, so now I will create a table under consumption schema. So now I am running this query, and you can see table was successfully created. Next, I will move on to the merge statement in the consumption schema. So merge into target table name, and here we will use the clean schema stream object. So I have running this query, and you can see number of rows inserted with 5 and number of rows updated with 0. Now next, we will move on to delta files. So using list command, we will list the delta files in that CSV underscore stage. So if I run this command, you can see the two files are there. Now let me replace the first file, the first delta file path with the path that already existed. So here I will replace with that copied file path. So here already the first file path there, so no need to replace. I'm running this. So number of rows loaded are 3. Next, run the merge statement in the clean schema. So I'm going to that merge statement clean schema query. So here it is. Now I am running this similar approach, merge into target table name using that stay schema stream object, and number of rows inserted are 3, updated or 0. Next we will move on to the merge statement in the consumption schema. So similar process of how the initial data load, that process only. Now I am running this merge statement in the consumption schema. Now it is running, and you can see the number of rows inserted are 3, number of rows updated are 0. Next, I'm going to list the another file, second file. The first file, delta file, had uploaded to the table, right? Now second file path I'm copied. Now I will replace with that first file. So how the first file upload done? So second file also upload into that table, and I'm running this copy into command. So it will upload 5 rows into the table. Now similar process, we will run the merge statement in the clean schema. So if we run this, you can see the number of rows inserted and number of rows updated clearly. It is running. The number of rows inserted are 2, and the number of rows updated are 3. Next, we will move on to the merge statement consumption schema. So if we run this merge statement in the consumption schema, you can see the number of rows updated and number of rows deleted. Here the number of rows inserted are 5 and number of rows updated are 3. That's it, and all files delta initial files overwrite. Now we will move on to another dimension. Now I'm going to run this for switching to system admin role and the sandbox database, stage underscore schema, and my warehouse. So this statement successfully executed, and I have switched it to system admin role. My warehouse is databases and stage underscore schema. Now I'm creating a table under this stage underscore schema. Table successfully created. Now I am creating a stream object for capturing the changes in the data. Successfully created stream. Next, now I am going to copy all the customer address related files, initial customer related files to this customer address table. So if I run this, so 5 rows were loaded into this customer address table. Now we can check the stream object, how it was stored. You can see all the rows and the 3 hidden columns. Metadata $x metadata is updated and row ID. First it has inserted, so insert false came. Next, now I'm going to create a another table in clean underscore schema. So if you can see, successfully created. Next, I'm going to create stream object for this clean underscore schema target table. So it has been created. Now I'm going to merge into this target table clean underscore schema using which stream object, this stage underscore schema stream object. It already it has captured the changes in the data, right? So using those changes, we will merge into this table and we will store this customer address table, like all the changes that we have captured through stage schema stream object, and we will modify in this layer and we will pass on to the consumption layer. So I'm running this merge statement. Number of rows inserted with 7. And next, I'm creating a table in the consumption layer. So all modified data will dump it here. Customer underscore address underscore dim table. It was successfully created. Now I am running the merge command. So number of rows updated 0 and inserted with 5. Next, I am going to take the delta related files. So I'm listing the delta related files in the customer address. You can see there are two files, day 1 and day 2. Now I'm going to keep the path there. Next, if I keep the path uh, by replacing this one, and if I run the copy into command, you can see all the changes here. And replaced this delta file path, and this was dumped into the state schema table, and we will run all the merge statements in clean schema and consumption schema. So all the changes and initial data and all the initial data that has changed will be captured clearly. Now I am running this copy into command. You can see the number of rows parsed and loaded with 3. Now I am running clean schema merge statement. Same approach and same theory. Next, run this. So number of rows are inserted 3 and updated with 0. Next, keep another file path also for this stage. So I am keeping this path. And running copy into command. And we can see the number of rows loaded with 2. Next, run the merge statement in the clean underscore schema. The number of rows inserted with 2 and updated with 0. Okay, good. Next, similarly run the merge statement in the consumption schema. Here the number of rows inserted with 2 and also updated with 0. So that's it. In previous video I have shown, like in the catalog you can see under schemas how the dimension tables are changing and how the rows are affecting and how the data was storing. You can see there. Now let us move on to another dimension, that is menu dimension. Now I am going to run these commands. So it will switch to my system admin role and my database and stage underscore schema and my warehouse. Now let me create a table in state underscore schema. I'm creating a menu table for loading the CSV files under CSV underscore stage into this menu. I'm created a table and I'm creating the stream object for the table to capture the changes in the data. And you can see here is the copy into command. So using this copy into command from this menu files under the CSV stage will be loaded into this table, menu table. Now I am running this. Loaded 12 rows were loaded successfully. Next, let me create a table in the clean underscore schema. Successfully created, and I am creating the stream object. Now let me merge into this clean underscore schema menu table. This is merge into after into we will specify target table name, right? So this is the menu table and the clean underscore schema target table. We have created this, right? So that one, and now using which stream object, the stage underscore schema stream object we will use, right? So we will specify here that one from state underscore schema dot menu is that state underscore schema menu table stream object will be used here. Now I am running this command, and you can see 12 rows were inserted successfully. Next, I am creating a table in the consumption schema, and it was created successfully. Now I am running a merge statement. Merge into here the target table is menu underscore dimension, the final table. We will use clean underscore schema menu stream object. So that one I have set. Next, I am running this. Number of rows inserted at 12. Next, I am listing the what are the files there in the menu folder. All the delta files that are there in the menu folder. These are the two files that are there. Now let me copy this, and we can give path here by replacing this path. And I'm going to run this. If you run this copy into command, this delta file will be loaded into the menu state schema menu table. And if you run the merge statements in clean and consumption schema, whole modified data and the initial data will be loaded into target table successfully with all modifications and transformations. Now we can see the 8 rows were loaded for these delta files, and now I am creating. Now I am using the merge statement in the clean schema, and I am running this. Number of rows inserted by 8 and number of rows updated by 12. Okay, good. Next, run this merge statement consumption schema. Same, merging the target table name using the stream object, which stream object under which schema, and on join conditions. When matched, we will update. So using set. Next, if not matched, we will specify what are the conditions, and based on the conditions, we will make an insert state using insert statement. We will insert all values. So I am running this. You can see number of rows inserted by 8 and number of rows updated by 12. Now let us update the path again with the next delta file. So here is the delta file. Let me update. And run again the copy into command. Similar process. Number of rows were loaded are 6. Next, run the merge statement in the clean schema. Number of rows inserted by 6. Number of rows updated by 20. Next, similarly run the merge statement in consumption schema. So now similar to that, number of rows inserted 6 and number of rows updated 20. Okay, good. Now let us move on to the next dimension, that is delivery underscore agent. Okay, let me switch to system admin role and database sandbox and stage schema, and also the variable setup underscore wh, because my whole files existed under this stage schema, right? So we want to switch to that. You can see we have switched successfully. Next, I am creating a table under state schema. Table created successfully. Next, I am creating a stream object for this table. Stream object also successfully created. Now we want to copy from this stage to the delivery agent table. In this stage, we have delivery files, right? So these files will be copied into this table. So let me execute this statement. Here, $1, $2 are just used to know the columns what are there in the files. So we from actual file you can see what are the columns using this $1, $2. So you can see it was loaded and successfully 5 rows were loaded. Let me execute my stream object. So you can see from where it has, from which file uh, we loaded the data. So state underscore file name stores that and which time, and also metadata $action metadata $update. So it is insert. So it was there like insert and it is not update, so it is false, and the unique ID for transaction. Now let me create another table in clean schema. You can see table created successfully. Now I'm creating stream object for this delivery agent table which is in the clean schema. Stream object created successfully. Now we will use merge into, this is the target table name, using which stream object, state schema stream object on, we are specifying the condition. This target table ID should match with the source table in the state schema. So if it matches, we will update some set of columns. If not, we will insert the values. I'm executing this statement. Number of inserted rows were 5 and updated with 0. Now, if I see this stream object, you can see 5 rows were inserted. And next, I'm creating another dimension table in the consumption schema. So it was created successfully. Now let us execute this merge statement. We will use here the clean schema stream object. Now, if we execute this, number of rows inserted were 5 and updated were also 0. Next, now let me check the files what are there in the Delta folder. First, we want to change the path of the Delta folder with all the Delta files, right? So let me list what are the files there in the Delta folder. So list at the rate, here what is the stage, CSV underscore stage Delta folder, delivery agent subfolder files you want to get, right? So I'm giving that path. So if I run this, you can see there are only 2 files. Now let me copy the first file path under this stage path. I have changed the path. Now this day one delivery agent file will be uploaded to the delivery agent table. If we execute this, you can see number of rows loaded of 5. Next, let me execute the merge statement in the clean schema. You can see the number of rows inserted of 5. And let me execute the merge statement in the consumption schema. The number of rows inserted are 5. So similarly, upload the second delta file of delivery agent. So check the path of that file. So this is the path of second delta file of delivery agent. Now let me replace this path with that path. I have replaced it successfully. Now I am running the copy. Changes the path of the delivery agent second file, right? So I'm executing this copy command. You can see loaded, two rows were loaded. Next, let me execute the merge statement in the clean schema. And it is showing like running the query. You can see the number of rows inserted with 0 and number of rows updated with 2. Next, let me execute the merge statement in the consumption schema. Number of rows inserted with 2 and number of rows updated with 2. Okay, now let us move to other dimension, that is delivery and entity dimension. So let us create this. Now I am switching to the system admin role and my database and my stage schema and this warehouse. It is switched successfully. Now let me create a table in the stage schema. It is created successfully. Next, create a stream object for the table which is under the stage schema. Created successfully. Now copy into this table by taking the data from this stage. This stage has a delivery initial details. All files were stored under this stage, right? So from this stage we will copy into this table. I'm running this copy command. It is loaded and it showed that 8 rows were loaded. Now let me create another table in the clean schema. Table created successfully. Now let me create stream object for the table which is under clean schema. Stream object also successfully created. Now let me merge into this target table which is under clean schema using the stream object which is under stage schema. So we will specify the join conditions. So the source table data from taking the stream object should match with this target table. So if we'll check when matched, we will update. If not matched, we will insert. At the first time, it will not match, right? Because no data will exist, so we will insert. If we upload the delta files, then it get matches some data, and we will update with another columns. So same process repeats. Now I'm running this merge statement. So number of rows were inserted on 8. Now I'm moving to order entity dimension table. So now in this order entity, I am going to switch to this role and database and stage underscore schema and this warehouse ad hoc underscore WH. And you can see I have switched successfully. Now I am creating a table in stage underscore schema. It was created successfully. Next I am going to create a stream object for this table. Stream also successfully created. Next we will load the all orders related files into this stage underscore schema orders table. So from this stage to this table, all the data will be loaded. Now I'm running this copy into. So it's shown like copy executed with 0 files processed. Why? Because I have in sample files. I have loaded all those sample files under this CSV underscore stage, right? What is the name it has existed? Let me see in the catalog database explorer. If copy executed with 0 files was encountered means we are giving the incorrect path. So let me check what are the files there in this CSV underscore stage. So in this stage underscore schema, my stage is there. So my stage is CSV underscore stage. So under initial, so you can see the I have the folder like order folder. So okay, here we have order, right? But in the path I have given orders, right? So there is path issue. So it came like copy executed with 0 files. So I'm going to my workspaces. to change this path. Should give order path. So if you want to list the files in the table, you can use list at the stage name. Let me see what are the files there. You can see the file which is under this order folder, it was listed. So the path is correct. Now let me copy this order initial CSV to this orders table. So loaded, 8 rows were loaded. Next let me create this orders table in clean schema. So successfully created. Next create stream object. Stream also successfully created. Next run the merge statement in the clean schema using the state schema object. So we can see number of rows inserted are 8. Next we need to process the delta files also, right? So let us see what are the files there in the delta folder. Here there are 2 files. So let me upload the first file of the delta folder. So I am replacing this path with this the first file path. Now if I execute this copy command, you can see it is loaded and the number of rows loaded were 4. Next run the merge statement in the clean schema. You can see number of rows inserted were 4 and updated were 0. Next, similarly copy the second file path. So to get the second file path, we first list the files that are in the stage, right? So I am copying this path and replacing with this path. So network error. So, so it came like fail to save. No problem. If the net comes again, it will save. So it is saved. No, now I'm running this copy into command. I have kept this path, right? Second file path I have kept it, and from this file, all the data will be loaded into this state schema orders table. If we run this copy into command, so it is loaded. Number of rows were loaded with 4. Next, run the merge statement in the clean schema. So number of rows inserted were 4 and updated with 0. So now let us move on to the next dimension, that is order underscore item. Previously what all we have done, those are the dimension tables, right? So this is the fact table. So we are building a star schema, right? So this fact table comes under center, and these all the dimension tables: customer address, customer menu, delivery agent, delivery entity, location, restaurant, all will come aside of the fact table as dimension tables. So all dimension tables, um, we are have built that all dimension tables, and apart from that, we need this date dimension table, extra dimension table also. So, and this is the order item fact table. This is the actual fact table for the order items, and these are all the dimension tables. Now let me build this order underscore item dimension table. First, we are going to execute these statements to switching the role to system admin and the database sandbox and schema stage underscore schema and the warehouse ad hoc underscore WH. So you can see clearly those are switched. Now I'm creating a table in stage underscore schema. Table was successfully created. Now create a stream object for this table to capture the changes in the data. Next, we are going to copy the files that are there in this stage to this table. So run this copy into command. So copy executed with 0 files came. That means the path was somewhere wrong. So here it is item, not items. So let me rerun again. So you can see This file was successfully loaded into the table. 14 rows were loaded. Now next create a table in clean schema. Now I'm creating it, and you can see table was successfully created. And next then create a stream object. Stream object also successfully created. Now we run the merge statement in the clean schema using the stream object in state underscore stream, and the number of rows inserted with 14 you can see clearly. Next move on to the consumption here. Okay, next consumption layer is not needed here, since just modification of the data is just enough. Next, we will list the delta files that are there in the order folder. So you can see the files, these are listed here. We copy the one by one file path and replace it here. This path is replaced with this two files path. Let me copy the first file path. I have copied the first file delta file path, and I am replacing it here. So if I run copy into command, so 14 rows were successfully loaded. Now run the merge statement in the clean schema. So 14 rows were loaded. Next, similarly, copy the second file item of this order item, delta file item of this order item. So I am copying it. Next, replace with this path. Now run copy into command. So this file was loaded successfully. 11 rows were loaded. Next, run the merge statement. So here the number of rows inserted were only 11. Okay, it looks good. Okay, next we will move on to the next date dimension. We will move on to the date dimension. Let me switch to the system admin role and adhoc underscore WH warehouse and database sandbox, and schema is consumption underscore schema. If you write use and run this statement, you can see these roles and warehouses, database and schema was shifted to what we want. Now I'm going to create a table in this consumption schema, date underscore dimension table. So it was created successfully. Here, we based on the minimum and for latest early order dates, we want to make a dimension table of date underscore dimension. So I have directly created it in the consumption schema, and I have inserted all the values from uh, like uh, like we want the latest early order dates, right? So current date as today, year, month, day of the year, everything we have included here. Now my table created, right? Now I will insert values into this. So this table is referenced to the fact table or underscore item fact. Now first I will insert values here. And you can see 976 rows were inserted here. So we just latest early order items dates we want, right? So no other schemas here we didn't need, because there is no need of modifying the data. So directly created in consumption underscore schema. Now we will move on to the main table, that is order underscore item underscore fact table. So let me see this. Now I'm going to run these statements. Use role system admin and use warehouse allow underscore WH, use database, this database name sandbox, and using this schema, consumption underscore schema. If you run this statement, we will shift the role to system admin and this warehouse and sandbox database and consumption underscore schema. Now let me create a table in this consumption schema. So table was successfully created and perform also operation. Since this order item is a fact table, right? So We will merge all the dimension tables and all here order entity, delivery agent, order item tables into this fact table, and we will write some join conditions. Using those join conditions, those primary key columns and join conditions, common columns, we will merge all dimension tables and also these delivery agent, delivery entity, order entity, these three tables. Uh, so if you perform merge operation, all updated data and initial data will be get reflected here. So we can see here clearly if when matches with the data, we will update. Otherwise, we will insert the values into it. So here also same scenario, merge into this table name, and we will use source stream object. So that's it. Now I am running the merge command. So you can see the number of rows inserted are 36 and number of rows updated of 0. Now I'm going to alter the table. So alter all these tables. So executed. Next alter. Next. So execute all these alter commands. These are all the hash keys that are generated in the dimension tables. You know, right? So random key that is generated for the child tables. So dimension tables. So we are going to alter these tables using these references keys. So you can see all my statements are executed successfully. Now let me move on to the use table. So in use, now I'm going to run these statements. Use role, use warehouse, and use database, and use schema. So that the system admin role and this around warehouse and sandbox, database and consumption schema will get reflected here. You can see here. And now create a view in consumption schema. I'm creating some view underscore year underscore revenue. Your wish, you can give what name you want. Now I'm creating these views for calculating sales, total sales revenue, or total number of orders, or maximum order, or average revenue per order, or average revenue per item. So for those to store the pre-computations in an early mode, I'm using this all views. So from, and we will perform join from different dimension tables and also fact table using this, and we will group by years and we will calculate all those. So for we are calculating for yearly how much revenue and average revenue, and for monthly, and also for daily and for day to day, for weekly. So everything we are calculating. So previously we have done date dimension, right? So earliest orders what are there on which day they done. So we will use this date dimension table and fact table, and we will club based on the common column, and we will check all and we will calculate all these. Now I'm creating a view here. So view was successfully created. Here you can see here they have given where delivery status equals to delivered. If you keep this condition, it filters only the average revenue per order, average revenue per item, or total orders or total revenue of the delivery status column of delivered column related data. It will fetch. It filters only delivered data, but whether the customer item was delivered or not delivered, based on all the customer data, we want to calculate the revenue, right? So here, no need to keep this. So remove this. So and now create this view, and view successfully created. If you want, you can keep, but the data becomes so small because the delivered only data means data becomes less and no variations will be observed in the dashboard graphs or everything. So I am removing this. So the whole data will be switched, only the delivered data, not whole data. So I am running this monthly revenue view successfully created. So next, daily revenue KPIs running. Next, successfully created. Next, now similarly create day to day. revenue. So successfully created. Next month, next district view, monthly underscore revenue by restaurant. So we'll fetch all the year or month from this data. So previously I have said, right? So that preserves all the data related to dates. So next, now these views are successfully created, right? Now let me run the Streamlit app. So this is the Streamlit app that we used to display the dashboards. In real time, you can use business intelligence tools like Looker, Power BI, any other tools. But here I'm using the Streamlit app. Run this Streamlit app. So if you run this Streamlit app, you can see the revenue dashboard and all the graphs that are related to the orders, the customer orders. So you can click deploy here and you can see it in a new tab. So this is the dashboard, revenue dashboard of total revenue, total orders, the maximum order value. So we can select here. For 2024, it was displayed like this. If you select 2023, so it was displayed like this, and the graph also varies. Here for 2023, the graph is like this, right? So if you click on 24 year, so the graph varies. So these are the top 10 restaurants on that year, and you can also select the months. So if we select fifth month, so it will change. And if we select this month, so the revenue and the average revenue order will be changed. You can see here it is changed. So that's it. If you want to know where the Streamlit will be created, here it is. You can go the works here projects and the workspaces. This is the Streamlit. Go under that Streamlit and create a Streamlit app, and that Streamlit page will be displayed, and you can copy code there. And you can, if once you deployed that, you can able to see this is the app that you have generated under this. So that's it.